007 Spectre. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Should be the year of the spy. This is our fourth spy film this year. We have The Kingsman. That came out back in February. We have Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. We have Man from U.N.C.L.E., an underrated spy film directed by Guy Ritchie. If you like 60s spy, go and see that movie. And finally, we have Spectre. 007, probably the last spy film of this year. And same writer, same director as Skyfall. I love Skyfall. Great story, great villains, great characters. So I went in there hoping for Skyfall 2.0. And we got some of the same things. Dave Bautista's villain in this film was amazing. He had a nice little killer quirk that the old campy, I'm gonna say campy, but classic James Bond villains had. He wasn't indestructible, but he was feared. He wasn't like, oh, you can't kill him. He's so hyped. He just came on the scene and was like, this is me. Boom. Fear me. None of that, but he was a great spy. He was on James Bond's tail the entire time. I love that about him. It showed him as not only a physical threat, but a mental threat. He was intelligent. He was always there. The Bond girl was amazing in this film. I'm not, like I said, I've done other films. Can't pronounce her last name. I'm not going to try. One day I'll get to it. I promise, guys. I promise. But she was great. She could hold her own. She was in a fight. She wasn't just a throwaway girl. She was a Bond woman. That's what she was told she was going to be, and she delivered. She delivered. She was great. She was enjoyable. I liked her. She could kick butt. And so, let's get down to the film. Cinematography in this film was good. Cinematography was good. David Bautista's character was great. The action in this, the claustrophobic fight, classic hotel fight scene, fight on a train. It was claustrophobic. It was there. There was not a lot of shaky cam, so you felt it. You felt in the nitty gritty right there when those punches were thrown and things were broken. You felt it, and I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't feel like, oh, like this is gonna be nice and clean. No, it was right there. It was dirty. It was messy, and it was great. I love that. The story in this film, okay. There's a lot of overwhelming film, like things that came together. I felt like they've been doing the last couple of films, and that was interesting as they connected it all together. But that's something I felt like it was kind of interweaving. And we got new characters like Andrew Scott's character, C. He turns out, as we kind of suspected, he was a bad guy in this film, but he didn't feel like a bad guy, and that's what I was sad about. We've seen Andrew Scott in other films, like his role in Sherlock, where he played Moriarty. He was great in that. He was scary. He was evil, and I miss that in this film. I felt like if they could have just given him a dialogue. In fact, they're like, maybe give him a monologue, because we have seen his acting talents before, and I wanted to see them again, but they wasted that. And sadly, guys, I'm gonna say the same thing with Christopher Waltz. I had no idea like this guy was that small. I don't know where's the other movies I've seen him shot in, Tarantino films and other films. He never seemed like a small guy to me. But in this film, it was like I was watching a middle schooler pretend to be a James Bond villain. Like what he was saying was threatening, but like the physical presence, all they were showing, he was just like a little preppy schoolboy. And I was saddened by it. I really was. Little preppy schoolboy. Didn't. So overall, guys, if you're a James Bond fan, I would say go and see this film. If you're a Skyfall fan, go in there realizing that it's not going to be all that. But if you're not a fan of James Bond, you won't be missing anything. I think it's a solid sequel. There are some things like the main villain falls short, and the story's a cliche. There's a lot of good things about this film, but there's also some things that keep it from being what we wanted the predecessor of Skyfall to be. If this is Daniel Craig's last film, it's not a bad send-off. But it's not the best send-off either. Bye.